I thought I'd bring you along for a tour of my wee pantry here. Well, it's a storage cupboard. It's a catch-all, basically. So here we go. So at the top, I have my stock pot and canning pots. Now, I used to have a larger water bath canner. You know what? I really prefer pressure canning. So much so that I would do tomato sauce in the pressure canner. I don't really do pickles anymore because I ferment pickles. So, you know, once you start fermenting, sometimes you don't continue doing some vegetables. But anyway, that was the course I took. Anyway, so I will do jams and such in the little pot. If I need to do anything larger, I will do that as a water bath canner, my stock pot. Actually, my Presto can be a water bath canner as well if you take out the overpressure plug. Anyway, so moving down, here are some of the items I have canned. I have chicken. I have white navy beans, or white kidney beans actually. Here's some navy beans, black beans. Now I find when you can black beans, typically, you know, it is a half a cup of dry beans when you're doing a pint. The next time I do black beans, I'm going to use a little less than a half a cup because I find that these really swell up, and maybe using less than a half a cup might be advisable. Anyway, numerous types of beans here. Some mixed fava beans. There we go. There's the dark fava beans. They're all pressure canned, of course, because they're low acid foods. One thing I don't have here is canned bacon and canned ground beef. I really like canned ground beef and canned bacon, although if you're going to do canned bacon, it's more of a, you know, crumbly texture after you open it up and cook it again with whatever you're doing it for. I mean, it's good for a frittata or a quiche or as a meat in a bolognese sauce. You know, it works. One thing I won't ever can again is Italian sausage. I just didn't like the texture. It didn't work for me. Anyway, over here I have my one of my food saver attachments. Stick that back up there. I have a lot of Indian spices, other little spicy things, falafels, extra pink salt. Moving down a bit, salsa. I have a lot of salsa. I just did that recently. It is not from fresh ingredients, I have to add, though. It is from a dehydrated mix and tinned tomatoes. I just, you know what, I'm too lazy to be chopping up all that food. Okay, so canned carrots over there. And, you know, that's something I'm probably not going to can again. I don't like the texture and I don't like the taste. I would rather dehydrate it. Some split peas behind there. Now, my mother just gave me what I thought was 6 containers of frozen turkey stock, which I canned up this weekend. However, one of those containers was her spaghetti sauce. So I canned it up. And what I did is I did everything at 75 minutes at 10 pounds pressure because I was doing meat. So, it, you know, the stock was in the canner pot quite a long time. But you know what? No biggie. Okay, what else do we have here? Oh, nothing special. Oh, yeah. Goji berries. Bran. I don't use that all that often, though. Some sugar. And some other things back there. Okay, so moving down a bit. Okay, so some tinned soup, Alfredo sauce, a lot of green beans. I do can green beans. I typically use them in a stew or a curry, throw them in at the last minute because they're already soft. So that is definitely a food I would continue to can. Okay, all right, let's go back a bit. Lots of green beans there. I have, okay, wait, peas, dehydrated peas, great in a curry that I would just throw in. Back there I have dehydrated carrots, and that is good for making bone broth. What I typically do is I take celery and carrots and throw them in the pot Instant Pot or, slow cooker, which I've done before, I use dehydrated vegetables in the bone broth because it just allows me to be more spontaneous. So I have 2 canisters of dehydrated celery there. This is dehydrated broccoli. I just did that. Okay. And I'm going to vacuum seal it. I have to admit, I put it in the pantry just for this video, but I'm going to take it out and vacuum seal it afterwards. Take it out now, whatever. Okay, and I have here some dehydrated zucchini. It kind of looks like it's gone off. That is vacuum sealed, so I don't know what's going on there. Turned brown. Oh well, no biggie. And behind there, underneath the coffee, right there, I have canned corn. It's frozen corn. My son loves it, and actually I prefer it. I like the cooked flavor that canning gives the corn. Definitely, I can't get enough of that. Now, over here is my Mrs. Wage's salsa. That's what I make salsa with. I make it from a mix. This is not available in Canada. When I go to the US, I pick up a number of containers of it. Okay, so that is that shelf. And of course, this shelf. It's all lids, jars, whatever. And what I did is recently, I went to Canadian Tire and I picked up four cases of the 1.5 jars. So that's the Canadian version. It's not Ball, it's Bernardin. I just stacked them behind there. Okay, let's bring it down a bit. And what else do we have? Like I said, oh yeah, a lot of coffee. Buy it on special. And yesterday, I bought these canning jars. They're really nice. Now in Canadian Tire, they don't have a lot of them. This sort of specialty item. It's mostly the standard canning jars. So I picked up all 3 packets. They only had 3 packets. There. Okay, now my other shelf over here. Yes, needs to be reorganized. It's a mixture of a heck of a lot of items. Okay, so what's in here? This is chicken bone broth. Okay, chicken broth. Right there that I canned. Let's move down a bit. Chili beans right here. There's also 2 cases of chili beans right there. Okay, this is beef broth right here. So I have a lot of beef broth. Well, there you go. That's just a quick tour of my little storage cupboard, pantry, catch-all cupboard. I do have a lot of home canned items and jars and such in my kitchen, but this is where I keep everything that is extra.